I haven't been back in so long that like every time I say hey everyone, it feels really weird. But anyway, I'm just gonna like jump in. Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel for the first time in a while because my camera actually broke. I wanted to do a get ready with me and kind of talk to you guys about being a makeup artist, what I love about it, and what some of the challenges are, and just my story and how I got here. I want to do something colorful because I haven't done that in a while. So I'm really excited about the look. And I'm really excited to share this information with you guys. If you are a fellow or aspiring makeup artist, I think this video will have valuable information to you. I've already prepped with my moisturizer and eye cream and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go in with my foundation. Right now I'm using the Mineral Liquid to Powder foundation that we carry where I work at Araya Rebirth. I really like this because it doesn't break me out. It's a great color match for me. And I feel like I don't have to set it with powder. Like I'm, you know, normal combo skin. So I think I want to start off telling you all why I do what I do. Well, let me start off with the what. I am a professional makeup artist. I'm a working makeup artist. So I don't just apply makeup to myself for Instagram and YouTube. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I think there's a distinction. I apply makeup to other people. Don't get me wrong, it started off with like applying makeup to myself and seeing how my face really came alive with makeup and how like confident it made me feel. And also, you know, so I guess I'll move into the why. There was a time where my skin was just always breaking out. You know, I couldn't stop picking and my skin was just always red. Like I had, you know, like scarring or hyperpigmentation rather from breakouts, and it just was so bad and I was so self-conscious about it. See, I have this one spot here. I'm gonna take the Hard Candy Glamouflage Concealer. I don't love this like blended out or anything. I like it just for targeted spots, and a tiny bit goes a long way because this stuff is really thick and pigmented. Anyway, I always felt like I was really creative, like with eyeshadow and stuff like that. But then, you know, in my late teens, early 20s, when I started to get really, when I started to get a lot of issues with my skin, that's when I became more passionate about the skin and, you know, making makeup look skin-like despite the amount of coverage that I was trying to achieve and stuff like that. And eventually that made me want to help other people with that. So I became a makeup artist, and then a few years later, I became an esthetician as well, which is more of a recent development in my life. This is the Bobbi Brown Corrector in Bisque, and I'm using it just to cancel out dark circles. The simple answer to why I do what I do is because I love to make people feel beautiful. And most makeup artists, I feel, will say that's why they do what they do. But everybody kind of has a different approach to that, and mine is very much client directed. I've worked at Sephora, I've worked for a couple of different makeup and skincare lines, and I've freelanced for myself. So both in like artistry and sales, like I don't really like to point out like flaws or needs, you know what I'm saying? Like when I'm working on somebody's face, like I don't really love to say like, oh, you have dark circles, like do you want a way to cover that up? I don't really go at it that way. I usually ask a client, you know, what is your concern? I don't even say problem or issue because, you know, you can be concerned about something while like working towards accepting it, you know? I'm taking the NARS Radiant Cream Concealer in Chantilly and just covering up that corrector and highlighting because this is a very light shade. So, you know, I like to use really positive language, and there's, let's say, two things that you can do with makeup. You can correct or you can enhance. Well, and you can also transform. But, you know, the kind of makeup that I do usually, either people want me to correct or enhance something. For example, you might want to correct dark circles. I mean, you saw that I just used a corrector under my eyes to correct dark circles. I don't want to enhance dark circles. In terms of like what you want to enhance and correct, I let the client tell me what they want. Now, that's not to say that I'm so client directed that I can't be a professional and make recommendations for my client, because I do think both is important. especially when it comes to enhancing. Like when I see somebody's eye shape or eye color, I think of a style of makeup or colors to use that would really just make your eyes pop, for example. Who wouldn't love that? You know what I mean? So those are some recommendations that I make. Or if the client is more laid back, then those are some liberties that I'll take. I'm going to take Chantilly in the Soft Matte Complete Concealer version. I depotted half of it because I actually gave myself half of it and then put the other half in my kit. I don't highlight all over the skin every day, but since I'm doing a more dramatic look today, I'm gonna go for it. So in teaming up with my client to, you know, either sell them the perfect products if, you know, if I'm not working for myself that day, if I'm working somewhere, because I have like a bunch of different jobs, and I will get to diversifying your income in a bit. You know, if I'm working, basically I look at it as teaming up with my client to create the perfect look for them, whether they're shopping for new makeup or getting their makeup done for a special occasion or milestone or whatever. I'm just using some translucent powder to set the concealer. I'm not gonna really set all over my face. So in that, I really, I like to challenge beauty standards, but at the same time, like I wax, for example, and as an esthetician, I'm never gonna discourage somebody from getting their lip waxed. I wax my own lip. Like, if having facial hair is not part of your aesthetic, that's fine. I think you can do whatever makes you happy. I'm using the Anastasia Brow Gel in Granite, by the way. So another thing that I love about being a makeup artist is being creative and making art. Like, ever since I was little, I wanted to make art. I'm just kind of like blending everything out. But yeah, so I find it like very fulfilling to my soul, not only in like the exchange that I get with people, but that I just actually get to be creative and use my hands and all that stuff. So let me get into my story of how I became a makeup artist now. I'm gonna hop into my Juvias Place Masquerade palette. It's such a beautiful palette, and it's very affordable for the amount of product that you get. I'm kind of inspired by like these colors over here, so I'm just gonna kind of go for it and see what happens. I'm actually gonna use the Tonik Cosmetics Shadow Elixir in Mermaid as a base. These work really well on their own as well, but I'm gonna use this one as a base today. I have a discount code for these, so I will link that down below for you guys if you're interested. They have like amazing liquid eyeshadows. It is a commission code, and that is an example of diversifying your income, which again, I will touch on more fully later. A little bit about my story. So, oh my God, look how beautiful. So when I was in college, I had virtually no free time on my hands. I was so involved in extracurriculars and usually took a full course load. So one semester, my junior year, I studied abroad and I had all this free time on my hands. And suddenly I discovered that there were people on YouTube doing makeup tutorials. And I was like, oh my God, what is this? At first I was very confused. I was like, who are these people and why are they qualified to do these reviews and give me recommendations and tips? And then I was like, just like anybody can do this? Wow. So I started watching Lauren Curtis a lot, and I watched her How I Became a Makeup Artist video. And I saw that she didn't even go to makeup school. She just like worked at a couple of counters like Benefit and Bobbi Brown. You know, she was freelancing bridal, and then she started doing social media full time. So I was so inspired by her, and I was like, why don't I learn more about makeup? And then of course, like all the marketing and the hype, like I just went out and bought so much stuff. Oh my God, I had such a shopping problem. Don't do that when you first start, by the way. Like, be an educated consumer. Don't just like buy everything. I started experimenting and posting a lot of my photos on social media, and then when I got home, I was asked to do makeup for a student film production. A bunch of my friends were working on it as well, so what they did, and you know, this is an awesome way to start off, is they gave me a budget to buy makeup. I was in charge. After the production, I got to keep the makeup. Yes, I worked for free, but you know what? Like, I worked with my friends, I had fun, and I was able to keep the makeup. And you know, that was just a great opportunity. And from there, you know, I was able to start freelancing. Like, I had a kit that you know, that wasn't perfect, because when you first start off, like, you're not gonna know exactly what you need in your kit to be prepared for literally anything. That takes time, and I'm just getting to a point now where I'm like so happy with my kit and the makeup that I have and just my whole setup, like for filming and for freelancing. Like, I just feel great. And when I graduated from Barnard, I was feeling really lost. I was working for Sephora and another store called The Body Shop, and I was getting really good sales experience and also a lot of practice doing makeup. So I don't think working at Sephora is a good job. I'm sure if you move up the ranks, it can be awesome, but like as a regular sales associate, I don't get why people stay there. I mean, I get that like job security is a huge thing. I think Sephora is a great place to start. One of the problems is it's a really big store, so they have like a makeup artist certification program. By the way, being a certified makeup artist, like it could mean different things in different states, but essentially it doesn't mean much. And being a certified makeup artist at Sephora, like being Sephora certified, doesn't mean anything for the outside world. It's still a good resume item, but it doesn't mean that you can like go work in a salon. You know what I'm saying? A lot of salons want you to be licensed. In the state that I work in, which is New Jersey, and I believe it's the same for New York, there is no makeup artist license. I was lucky enough to attend Sephora's Color 201 program before I left Sephora, and that taught me a lot. And you know, I already was doing a pretty good job at makeup in my own opinion, but it's always good to learn more theory, right? Like it's always good to learn why certain things look good. So if you can get training at Sephora, because sometimes, you know, I wasn't there for a very long time and I only have experience at one store. I can only speak for my own experience. I don't get the impression that things move very fast there. But anyway, if you're lucky enough to get trained and like go to the training programs, Sephora has really good training. Then after that, I started working for a makeup line as a freelance makeup artist, and they sent me to training, which when you train with a line, you learn their way of doing makeup and you have to understand that, and that's fine. Just deal with it. Like a lot of artists, especially younger artists, myself included, obviously, disagree with the way like a trainer wants you to do makeup. And like, it's fine. Like I just take those as opportunities to challenge myself to do makeup in a different way. And that makes you a better artist. Just swallow your pride, swallow your ego, and just try and do it the way that they tell you. And then when you go home, you can do makeup however you want. Who knows, maybe you'll learn something. So that's just like my 2 cents on that. But anyway, so I had been working for that line for not even a year. And all of a sudden a bunch of our hours started getting cut. So again, it's important to diversify your income, especially if you're part-time or freelance, because your hours will get cut if you're not full-time. It's just like the way retail works. It's not very sustainable. Like your makeup artists are pretty disposable. Like you have to constantly hustle, you have to diversify. That's not the reason I went to get my skincare license. I was really passionate about skincare, and I want something maybe even a little bit more like scientific and intellectually stimulating. I think I get that from skincare as well. So I was like, let me go get my skincare license. Like this is something I really want to do, and I think it's something that would make me a lot more money and give me more stable income. I'm gonna take Makeup Geek Daydreamer and just pop this on the center of the lid. So do I regret that though? I don't know, I'm just gonna go with it. So I went to beauty school from start to finish, as in like from the first day of beauty school till the day I got my license. It was about a year. I am not gonna lie, I did not really enjoy beauty school, but it's fine. Like I started off part-time and I was like working during the day. I had an internship in makeup sales for a startup company. Which I'm not still doing, but it was a good experience. And I also was freelancing as a makeup artist. And then at night I would go to school. So I was just like totally burnt out. You get through it. It's a year of your life. And then you have a license. So then you can work in spas and salons. So now I do facials, waxing, like I do a number of things that I wasn't able to do before, and I love it. I love all of it, and I'm so happy I went to get my license. So I was fortunate enough to be hired right out of school at a non-franchise spa. Like I said, I'm open to dealing with like, you know, a brand, like franchises, to get experience, but it's not ideal for me at all. Like long term, I don't see myself doing that. And I was fortunate enough to just get hired right out of school at, you know, the perfect job for me, honestly. I don't know how that happened. Like, I'm just so lucky. Part of that is when you meet someone and they tell you to send a resume over, that you do it. You know what I mean? That you do it and you follow up and you show up to the interview and you make a good impression, and you have to do all those things. Thankfully, I had experience doing that already. A lot of people going into this field, you know, you're 17, 18. It's going to take a little bit of time to build up that confidence and to build up a knowledge base and to build up a resume, and that's okay. I'm taking the Tonik Shadow Elixir in Vino. I'm using Zobo from the palette to smoke that out. So I just want to talk real quick about diversifying income and doing a like client service based kind of work. First of all, the most important thing is to stay positive. Like this morning I had this whole big thing planned with somebody who was going to come over here. We were going to shoot a video and I was going to do her makeup for this big shoot. Sorry, there are like trucks and stuff outside, but I usually go to my clients, but I have like a really small studio inside my home. I'm taking my OverShadow SexPot by theBalm in the shade Work is Overrated, popping that in my inner corner. So, you know, I had all these plans this morning. I set up last night. And then we wake up today and it's raining, and the weather forecast says it's going to rain for the rest of the day, and neither of us had anticipated that. But also either way, like even if we had, sometimes things happen, you know, the weather gets bad and you can't do a photo shoot, or people just straight up cancel. I mean, today I was not mad at all because I stay positive, and I was like, oh my gosh, well, I cleaned up my entire setup. I figured out my camera setup because I'm working with a new camera right now, so I had to do that because we were going to film a video together. Why don't I just film my own video? And this is a video that I've been meaning to film for a long time, so it ended up working out, and I'm filming, and it's fine. It's awesome. I don't feel like I missed out because I had to cancel with my client because of the weather. So, but, you know, sometimes people cancel for reasons that, you know, might irk you. I'm taking my Kat Von D tattoo liner. I'm just gonna do my liner until that truck stops, and I'll be right back. Oh my goodness. Thank God. It's garbage day. There's a lot of garbage, but they're finally gone. So I'm adding white to the brow bone and the crease. I haven't filmed in a while, so sometimes it's really difficult for me to focus like while I'm talking, and then I look at my makeup and I'm like, whoa, I was just like not being careful at all. So I'm adding white to the brow bone and the crease just to soften everything up. And I also cleaned up around my eye with a little bit of my micellar water. I really shouldn't have done my foundation first. That was silly. Now I'm taking my Marc Jacobs fine liner in Blacker, and I'm just using that on the waterline. So yeah, just to reiterate, unless you are working full-time for a brand, you have to diversify your income. You cannot put all your eggs in one basket because, you know, like what if your repeat clients all of a sudden decide that makeup is not in their budget that month? Okay, if you're freelancing for a line, or you're part-time for Sephora, what if they cut your hours? Which they can and they will. I've been really into smoking out my like wings lately. What do you think? I'm taking Calabar from the palette and just adding a little bit of a reddish purple pop, because, you know, this whole eye look is not a pop. So I'm going to do my mascara and lashes off camera, and I'm going to clean up the concealer around my eyes, and then I'll be right back to finish off with blush and lips. Okay, I'm back. I actually fixed a couple of things off camera. I switched out the black in the waterline for white. I just feel like it goes way more with the look. Oh, and I added Makeup Geek Whimsical, this shadow right here, to the inner corner a little bit, just to give a little bit more of a metallic pop. And I'm wearing the House of Lashes in the style Iconic Light. So now I'm gonna do blush. You can either go for something like very pink or something more mauve. So I'm gonna go with Hourglass Mood Exposure, and I'm just gonna smile and pop that on. So honestly, I've said everything I kind of have to say for now. I'm gonna use Makeup Geek Whimsical again, but on the Real Techniques setting brush, and I'm gonna use that as a highlight. I'm gonna take Sugarpill's liquid lipstick in Kimchi. So anyway, everyone, thank you so much for watching. That is, you know, my story and my thoughts about becoming a makeup artist and esthetician and things that you have to keep in mind, some challenges. Overall, I 100% love what I do. Like, it changed my life for the better. Sometimes I think about it and I get emotional because, like, what if I had listened to people who were telling me to go in a certain direction with my life? Not that people meant, you know, anything malicious by that, but this is what I was meant to do, at least, like, at this stage in my life. So, not that I'm not open to change. I totally am, but right now, this is what feels right, and I'm so happy. Again, sometimes I get tired of hustling. Sometimes, like, you know, I hustle and there's no output, and that's just, like, something you have to deal with. So it has its challenges, and it's not always easy, but it's rewarding, and the best things in life are worth waiting for. And I'm very grateful that the people in my life are supportive. So, you know what? Let me do some setting spray. This is the Motives 10 Years Younger Makeup Setting Spray. I'm not trying to look 15, but whatever. I feel like I need a gloss. This is the Marc Jacobs lip gloss in Suga Enamored. I don't get why it has two names. Pick a name. Does anybody else watch Miss Coco Peru? No? Okay. So yeah, this also gives it a little bit more of a nude tone. Or a beige tone, rather. Oh, I love the way that turned out. I'll have a list of products that I used down below if you missed anything. And if you are an aspiring makeup artist, feel free to email me with any questions. I hope you found the information in this video valuable. If you have any more ideas as to how I can make the channel valuable to you, please leave me a comment with your ideas. Otherwise, please don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.